proof that the dollar is being destroyed can be found in your electricity bill. Freaking Obama, Biden, Bush, the Fed, Jerome Powell, Greenspan. All right, so I'm going to read you again from this right here. And we're going to put some perspective. Because you can live in fear and hostility, but if you're Christian, you can't. And that's no excuse for you if you love Jesus. You can't do that. And if you love Jesus and you're living in fear and hostility, then inherently something's got to give. In fact, I was saying my prayers this morning. I was praying for the people who don't believe. I said, good Lord, please give the atheists guidance to follow your path, even if they don't love you, to recognize that you love them. And God said, wait a second, guy. How about the people who believe and don't follow my path? So I was praying for people who don't follow his path because they don't believe. And God's like, no, it's okay to pray for them. You should pray for everybody. But how about the people, you, Josh, who believe and still don't follow the path? So I got to say our prayers, man, and quiet. You got to take some time to be quiet because, man, all of a sudden you'll get hit with that 2x4 from God. And it's going to say, yeah, okay there, cocky guy. Let's put you back. Let's knock some of that chip off your shoulder, eh? All right, so actually I emailed Carrie last night. I was trying to get her to do an interview, and she's happy to do it, but right now she's actually, and she can't do it now. And then she made a point, though. She goes, yeah, now we no longer have any paperback copies of this book. It's only on Kindle now. Uh-oh, someone's getting ready to bark. Nope. It's only on Kindle, this book, and hopefully I was able to make some sales for her. That's pretty cool. I hope they reprint this because I'm telling you, you need this book in your library as a reference point the way it was, and that way it'll keep you on the straight and narrow, that you don't fall for the muck of, oh my goodness, we're all going to die. All right, well, we are going to die. If you eat carrots, you'll die. All right, so right here. Farmers had to pay $1,500 to $1,800 a mile to bring the electric lines to their house, to their farm. That was before the Rural Electrification Administration came in. $1,500 to $1,800 a mile. And if I may let you guys know that in 1937, Elmo and May, who are our heroes in this book, only made $2,800 in 1937. Right? So to bring electricity to your house is a pretty significant commitment in money, especially during the Depression when your income is going down. Now, what happened was in 1937 with the Rural Electrification Act, that changed everything as millions of farmers were able to hook up to central power sources and for the first time turn on electric lights, and which is fantastic. Previous to that, many farmers had a variety of power sources like a Delco plant. Those things are fantastic. I mean, like I wouldn't want one, but they're fantastic. I was looking some videos on YouTube about Delco plants, DELCO. It's way cool, man. And if you look back and you get like, I went to the Freiburg Fair last year up in Maine, and they had this presentation of a bunch of guys who had old generation devices, electrical generation devices, just machines and engines. It's just fantastic. I love it. Anyway, all right, so check this out. Later, in this 1937, after the electricity was turned on for Elmo and May in Illinois, in early June, May, the wife, began to note a $110 monthly installment payment for the oven because they bought a range, all right? And they also bought an iron. They bought an electric oven and an iron and a few other items. The iron was $2.20. And so $110 monthly electric payment for the oven, and then a $6.25 electricity bill. Oh my goodness, see, it was only $6.25 back then, Josh. See how much the dollar has declined? Oh my goodness. And then we said, okay, so $625 on a total income in 1937 of $2,800. So we take our trusty calculator, $2,800 divided by 12 is $233 a month. 6.25 divided by 233 is 2.7% is what they're paying on their total income for the electricity. 2.7%. And think about what they did not have. They didn't have central air. They didn't have a heat pump. They probably didn't have electricity to heat their home. I buy a heat pump or any other, or radiators or anything like that. Probably didn't have hot water from the electricity. They might have at some point, but probably not then. They certainly didn't have TVs. Just the load that they were running in terms of the conveniences that we have now just wasn't there. It wasn't there. So I mean, they had an iron, which is great. They were able to wash their clothes. They didn't have a clothes dryer. I guarantee you that. So they're able to wash their clothes. And if you watch some of the Delco plants, and you can see how they use that for washing machines, it's freaking awesome, man. Anyway, so they're paying 2.7% of their income to electricity, and a limited amount of electricity. So I want to go and show you something here. All right, so this is from the EIA, the Energy Information Administration, from 2019, average monthly bills on electricity, and then kilowatt hours average monthly. So we're going to go to the great state of Georgia because it's hot and humid down here. And we're going to show you, we use about 1,100 kilowatt hours a month. So that's 1,100 a month divided by 30. That's about 36 a day. We use in this house, we use about 55 to 60 because we got a house of 6 people. And we got a big house too, man. So we definitely aren't paupers when our electricity use, that's for sure. Anyway, so the average kilowatt price per kilowatt hour in Georgia is 11 cents right there. Well, my bill says differently. You got to average it up, man. All right, so just FYI. So your bill is going to be different, and you can average it depending on your consumption. Trust me. All right, so the average bill in Georgia is $131. That's the average monthly bill, $131. All right, the average income in Georgia is $62,000. The average household income. Now, average means we're actually increasing it because we got rich guys like that Spanx lady, whatever that chick's name is. She makes $1 billion trillion, and I don't make $1 billion trillion. So between us, our average is quite high. You'd rather do median to get a better gauge of this, but this actually shows you a higher cost and probably is actually true because we're skewed towards the higher end outliers, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to use 131. And that's why I use the average monthly income in Georgia, $62,000. So $62,000 divided by 12 is $5,100 a month. 131 is our monthly bill, average monthly bill. That's a 2.5% bill for average electricity here in Georgia. And yet in Georgia, you're running a hell of a lot more stuff on that. You're running central air. I guarantee you the vast majority of people in Georgia have central air. Again, a heat pump, a range, a clothes dryer, a hot water heater, the whole thing, dudes. And yet our average price has actually gone down. More on the load and down for a price. Isn't that crazy? But inflation, it's always just a one-way street. It's always the value of the dollar is declined, but never else the value of the goods that dollar buys. It's freaking pissing me off. I'm not going to lie to you. It's stupid. And you can look at any state. So here's the state of Maine I was looking at, and I already did the numbers. It's basically Maine, because they right there, they don't have, a lot of those people in Maine don't have central air conditioning, and a lot of them don't, and they probably have some heat pumps, but I guarantee a lot don't use electricity to heat their homes. Their average bill is less in Maine, even though the kilowatt hour is higher, but still is going to run about 2 to 2.5%, sometimes even 3% of your total income. And then finally, part 2 of this is your total income. If you look at those numbers aren't showing, they're not showing transfer payments. I've said this a million times. So anything that's food stamp related, AFDC, Medicaid, none of that is showing up in the average monthly income. None of it is. So if we pay $2,200 a month for Cobra. All right, that means I need to generate at least $25,000 of income to cover that $22,000 a month in Cobra, $2,200 a month in Cobra. If I'm on Medicaid, I don't need to generate that income. But the doctors are still getting paid, the hospitals are still getting paid because I'm on Medicaid, which is basically subsidized from the taxpayer. I don't need to generate it, but it doesn't show up in the average monthly income. But yet that is an income that's certainly someone's getting it. So even though I don't show it up my average monthly income, it's absolutely going back in the economy because we have to pay for the other services. But it doesn't show up in my average monthly income. So I always say the average monthly income is only $62,000, but that doesn't show a significant benefit of various services that the state and the federal government gives to you. Anyway, hope this helps. I guarantee your electricity bill is significantly lower than what it would be in 1937, 1947, and you're actually getting much more benefit from it. But you're not going to hear this from the naysayers because the naysayers are always negative all the time. And if look again, if you're a Christian, you can't be that man. You know, if you're an atheist, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't mean at the end of the day, God isn't going to hold you accountable. But again, God's going to hold the Christians accountable too, because we did believe and yet we still violated God's law. I'm guilty as charged. Not good. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.